G'day, it's Jamie, and welcome to Where's My Yowie. Today, I'm reading an old newspaper report about Thylacines, Thylacoleos, Bunyips and Yowies that have been sighted in Australia. So we'll get into it. This was published in the Sydney Morning Herald on Saturday, the 9th of December, 1939, titled Monsters of Mystery, Seen But Never Caught. Queer Tales by R.W. McKay. Apropos of that elusive crocodile in the north, it is well to remember that during the past 118 years, and probably for longer, strange animals that have alarmed the countryside have appeared intermittently in Australia. I have investigated the stories of these incomprehensible animals and amassed a quantity of very surprising information concerning them. The latest creature, said to resemble a large crocodile, appeared on this occasion at Angourie Beach near Yamba. The first record, presumably of one such quaint visitor's, comes from the journal of Hamilton Hume, the explorer, in 1821. The Philosophical Society of Australia received a report from Hume to the effect that a large beast of some unknown species had taken up its abode in Lake Bathurst near Goulburn. Hume stated that the animal was something like a hippopotamus or a manatee. It was seen on 2 or 3 occasions by himself and the members of his exploring expedition. The Philosophical Society was quite fascinated by the news and informed Hume that it would reimburse him for any expense he might be put into capturing the monster or in collecting its head, skin or bones. But the society was too optimistic, as many other people have been since that day regarding the capture of these creatures. The animal was neither apprehended nor killed, and indeed it was never seen again. In March 1872, an animal of rather frightful mien was reported as having been seen for a few weeks in a lagoon near Narra-Endara. Its appearance was vouched for by highly respectable people living in the locality. It surprised them more than anything they had ever seen in their lives. A party was organised to try and catch it, but with the usual result. The visitor simply moved on to fresh fields or blue lagoons elsewhere. Throughout all the records, not one of these animals has ever been captured or killed. They have all seemingly borne charmed lives. Unclaimed reward. The great Euroa monster of 1890 was hunted by a heavily armed party from the Melbourne Zoo. Although dozens of people had been frightened out of their wits by this brute, the hunters did not get so much as a glimpse of it. The famous Tantanoola tiger, which materialised in 1895, was supposed to have been shot, but the animal stuffed and exhibited as the bumped-off tiger raised such a storm of protest from those people at Tantaluna who had seen the authentic tiger that the claim was not pressed, and so the Tantanoola tiger goes down in history as just another intruder that came and went without even a tiger's farewell. Another hairy nondescript was seen at Crystal Brook, South Australia, in 1876. This one reduced the local population to jitters for a time, and the government offered a reward of £50 for it, dead or alive. No one ever claimed the prize. At Molongongo River in 1886, 4 men on horseback were crossing the stream when one of the leading horses shied at a remarkable animal. It was whitish in colour, about the size of a large dog. Its face was like the face of a child. There was no attempt to capture this creature. Its debut was made in the midst of a shower of stones from the shocked horsemen, who apparently were not of the apocalypse type, or they might have recognised it. It is to be hoped that they were all bad shots. The animal was not seen again. ugly blend. In March 1935, another monster arrived from the regions unknown and made its appearance in the Barwon River near Brewarrina. It was said to have been a cross between a crocodile and a wild pig. Staggered observers would naturally, as Pliny of Vesuvius fame said, get a distorted view of this alarming specimen, which was accused of having fed on local cattle. One riverside dweller sadly related how it had taken his calf. However, after a brief visit, the raider left, and the place knew it no more. The animals noted have been of seemingly amphibian type, except the great tiger. But it is the lion-like and tiger-like brutes that almost swamp the records in a number of their appearances. There also are records of gorilla-like animals, and the stories of them are so well attested by reputable people that it would be quite offensive to class these unexplained creatures as mere phantasms. There are records from Pipers Creek, Mansfield, Lockwood, Chiltern, Briargolong, and other places in Victoria, from Harden, Tantawongolo, Goulburn, Gloucester, Wellington, Jamberoo, Orange, and other places in New South Wales, from the 3 Mile Scrub, Brisbane, and the St George District, and Normanton in Queensland, of mystery animals that may have been lions or tigers, but which no one ever got close enough to properly identify. Mr. Estopi of Briargolong, Victoria, has sent the writer many particulars and measurements, paws, body length, etc., of these lion-like creatures. He has taken people accustomed to menageries to presumed habitats, and they have averred that the odour in these lairs resembles that from animals' cages. As to the paws, measurements tend to confirm the belief that they are paws of no known Australian animal. It might be added that in all these investigations, the writer has not come across one authenticated case in which a lion or a tiger has escaped from a menagerie and gone bush. This is mentioned because the first announcement generally issued when these animals are seen abroad is that they must have escaped from some travelling menagerie. The animals seen at Angourie Beach, perhaps only an ordinary runaway crocodile, may be shot or captured. But if it is in the same category as those monsters alluded to here as getaway, it will be all, from its own viewpoint, that could be desired. Alarmed by the publicity it is getting, it will doubtless return to the silence from which it temporarily emerged. The end. Oh, that's pretty interesting. The bit I really liked in this story was the writer said it, with all his investigations, he has not come across one authenticated case of which a lion or a tiger has escaped from an imaginary and gone bush. And I found the same thing. I've never found anything, even with gorillas. No one's lost any of these creatures in the bush that have come publicly and announced it. They might have lost them and not said anything, but no one's publicly said that they've lost a lion or a tiger or even a gorilla in the bush. Okay, that's it from me. I'll get back to you all next time. Bye.